means, but okay. Hi, good morning. Welcome back to What's the Word? Yay! We're so excited to spend time with you. Noah got the llama from Fortnite. Fortnite llama. Yay! So I'm so excited. I'm always excited to spend time with you guys, but I'm like been excited because the last time we talked, I was a little sad and hurt by what was going on with my sister. And today we're doing a little bit different. We have the beats, adrenaline. We got a little music because you guys know I love my music. I love to share the music. So
She's
stop,
funny.
never get in. Some people wanna turn and run, but the strong rise under the gun. Top to the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, to the top, ain't never gonna stop. That song helped me a lot, actually. Um, with what's going on. So you're gonna history every day. I fight to be legendary. Oh, 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 oh. So we got music going on, and they told you guys like I was sad because of what was going on with my sister, but a lot of people are going through it. A lot of people are going through death, losses, pain. So what I learned the other day, because I'm human. I'm human. People wanna turn and run, but the strong rise under the gun. Top to the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, to the top, ain't never gonna stop. Anyways, we had to go to Mayville the other day because so my husband's account has been paying for our car insurance for the past 6 months. Um, and it overdrafted. I didn't know, like I put my friend on our insurance and I didn't know that it was going to get drafted from his account too. So now it's overdrafted. So I tried to go to the bank to clear it out and close up the account. Um and you can't. They told me I had to go to Mayville to get a piece of paper. So then I go to Mayville to get the piece of paper. The lady, like my Brita lady, I've talked to her about her before, was with me because I was like, when I went to the bank to try to close it out, it's just like, I don't understand. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. That's why I asked for the white extension cord, please. The plug's right here. And get the white extension cord, or even that orange one. Bring it over here. We got to plug in the speaker. It's about to die. Hurry, hurry. Grab that orange cord and just plug it right here. But, so we went to Mayville and she got to experience what I've experienced this past year. I'm scrubby today because we're gonna go paint the trailer. So not cute, but anyways. So she got to experience that with me, and not only did she get to experience it with me, but she got to talk to me on the way home. It's like a 20-30 minute drive there and back. So we got to, we got to conversate a little. We got to spend some time together and it was amazing. It was amazing. And just trusting in God, learning to trust in God. I think that's where our fear comes from. I think that's where the devil like eats at us and like he's not going to take care of you. This happened, that happened, bad things are happening and it's not going to get any better and whatever, right?
It's Ben.
Okay, we'll plug it into the speaker first and then I'll do that. Um right? So I was freaking out. I haven't had a panic attack in almost 2 weeks. And when I went to Mayville, I had one of those attacks. I was like, I couldn't breathe. I was like, crying hysterically and just like, I just want it to be done and over with. Is what I said. I don't know what I need to do. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that I don't want it anymore. I just want to stop bringing up the story. I want it to be done with. I want, to not lose my house, to not lose things, and I want it to, I just want it to be done. I don't want to have to keep reliving that day over and over again. So I don't understand. That's what I was like trying to explain to her. Is like death is already hard enough. Why on earth? Can we explain this to me? Why on earth is it so much harder? Like that's what everybody says, you know. My brother was telling me about you know, when he was talking to me and you know I was telling him about the situation and he's like, well, that's the problem. They, you know, when somebody dies they leave all the bills to you, but it's not the bills, it's everything else, you know, just trying to close everything out, just not even the bills, like it's no bills, is you know, he was already taking care of our bills, he's already doing what he's supposed to be doing. The only bill that we have right now is the funeral bill, and that's like I let's not even go there, but it's the funeral bill, and his parents, his mom doesn't want to help pay for it. um the church wants to pay for it for me, but I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. I don't think that the son gets to pay for a party, celebration of life party. And if you saw the pictures, and I know pictures are deceiving, but at the same time, like, I'm on anxiety medicine. I can't leave my house, and these guys are throwing a party with big smiles, big people, you know, lots of people, and just like his mom is partying and clubbing every day. Like she's over almost 60 years old, and like your son just passed, and that like that's what I'm still astounded. You know, like, oh, I go through this every day. It's okay. It's, you know, it's nothing. Are you like, I've never been through this before and I'm traumatized by it. So I don't want to keep repeating it. Um, and like I said, the whole thing with my sister was to try to help me. Oh, here's you a man so you can, you know, move on. And it's not that simple. It's not that simple. You don't just here go, you know, like there's a lot to it. And I think that's why God's giving me the ability right now to be alone again, because most of my life I've been alone. Most of my life I've been alone. Most of my life I've had to handle a household by myself and run it by myself. So this is no different. The only difference is like I never owned a house. I never made these big decisions. I never like there's a lot of nevers that I've never done here before. And I just, you know, he's just like I told my church people, all I want to do is sleep. I just want to sleep. I don't want to get up. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sleep. But God wakes me up and says, let's go. We got things to do today. I don't know what, because there's a list, a long list. But right now we're working on the hot dog and the trailer, and we are so close to done. Right? We're so close. We still haven't found a commissary. He's so warm. I'm so freezing. We still haven't found a commissary, but we'll be working on that once the trailer and everything gets done. Hopefully, that's why, like I said, that's why I went scrubbish today. I'm hoping that I'm hoping that we'll be able to get that done today. Can you go give me that black thing on my, or even yeah, the black like blanket thing that I have? Remember where the, you know what I'm talking about?
A blanket that kind of we use a blanket that I just got off that.
No, that's too big. I need a small blanket or that little black thing that I like to cover with. He's getting me warm. I'm freezing. It's freezing here. 60 degrees in New York. That's crazy in the summer. It's been some days is like super hot, some days it's like super cold. And today it is, well, it says 68, but it's freezing. I'm so cold. Maybe it's just my house. I don't know. But anyways, back to where we are. Yeah, ADHD. That's what we were dealing with at Bretta too. I'm like talking about this and this and this and that came up, and my mind is like attention. I can't, you know, everything attracts my attention. Sorry. That's just, you know, my brain is like a big giant ping pong. There we go. Bang. Now I'm warming up. Oh, it's so comfortable.
Oh.
Oh, oh. So, I wanted to start today being in Hebrews, because this is what God has brought me to. I've been praying and like, what do you want me to know? What is it that you're telling me? So the other day he told me to read Hebrews. It was Hebrews 12, and 13, and then I went back to chapter 10. Do not touch that. Chapter 10. So Hebrews. Listen, this is what I absolutely positively love about the Bible. So you see where Hebrews is in the Bible, right? The back of the book. This is the back of the book. Okay, so Hebrews. We are still way over here, right? We're still in Genesis, way over here. And we learned about Cain and Abel and Abraham and Isaac and all that. So then look at all this. All right. Hebrews is in the back of the book. Listen to this. God told me to read Hebrews. It was Hebrews chapter 12. So the thing is, I'm just going to point out, I'm not reading the whole thing because we are going to get to it at some point in life. I don't know when. But like I said, we made it very easy. So here I am today, just waking up.
Praising.
Huh?
Praising.
Yes. But we just woke up. We made our coffee. We did a little bit that we were supposed to do. And here we are spending time with you guys because this is what is the number one important thing. All right, I'm just trying to, there we go. Trying to get a little bit better view. But this is what is the most important thing in the world. The absolute most important thing is to spend time not only in the word, but with God, you know, in other ways. Um, and to tell our story. Everybody has a testimony, everybody has a story, and we all need to tell it. So, like I said, I'm telling you mine. It's a hard one, it's not easy, but I trust my God, and I know that He's brought me through this, and I can tell you, I don't know how many testimonies, how many stories. If you got questions, just ask. If you want to know anything, let me know. Um, right now I'm going through a hard time with my son again, but it is what it is. So he told me to come to chapter 12 in Hebrews. And Hebrews um, says God's discipline proves his love. God's discipline proves his love. So I just want to read the end of chapter 5. I mean, verse 5 and 6. Okay. And then there's another one on 13 that I want to read, and then we're going to go back. So it says God's discipline proves his love. And then uh well, actually, I'll just read the whole 5. And you have forgotten the encouraging words God spoke to you as his children. He said, my child, don't make light of the Lord's discipline and don't give up when he corrects you. For the Lord's discipline, for the Lord disciplines those he loves, and he punishes each one as he accepts as his child. And then it says to go to Proverbs 3:11 through 12. We're not going to do that right now, but I would love to. You see how the rabbit hole is. It says, as you endure the divine discipline, remember that God is treating you as his own children. Whoever heard of a child who is never disciplined by his father? If God doesn't discipline you as he does all of his children, it means that you are illegitimate and are not really his children at all. Since we respected our earthly fathers who discipline us, shouldn't we submit even more to the discipline of our Father of our spirits and live forever? For our earthly fathers discipline us for a few years, doing the best they know how. But God's discipline is always good for us, so that we might share in his holiness. No discipline is enjoyable while it is happening. It's painful. But afterwards, there will be a peaceful harvest of right living for those who are trained in this way. So take a new grip with your tired hands and strengthen your weak knees. Mark out a straight path for your feet so that those who are weak and lame will not fall, but become strong. And then the next part of 12, it says a call to listen to God. Again, I don't want to read that. Just skipping some songs because I don't know. Rogers. That's who that was. I love his older songs, but the newer songs is just yelling and screaming. I want to praise and worship and love God, so I skipped it. Anyways. So chapter 13 is concluding words. What I have highlighted here says, don't love money. Be satisfied with what you have. For God has said, I will never fail you. I will never abandon you. And then it says to go to Deuteronomy chapter 31, verses 6 and 8. And then, so we can say with confidence, the Lord is my helper. So I will have no fear. What can mere people do to me? That one is in Psalms 118:6. So what I really wanted to share with you on when God told me to come to chapter 12, I told you guys my book has footnotes, these little blue things, right? So they're footnotes. What we've been reading. So listen to this. This is my absolute. That is so awesome. I love, and absolutely love this about the Bible. So we're over here with Joseph right now, right? Joseph and the Pharaohs, the stories that we're reading right now. It says, if you give me a second, okay? Um, so chapter 11, it says great examples of faith. And then it says, see Joseph, page 47. 1124, see Moses, the man who loved God's presence, page 69. Moses, the faithful servant, page 239. And then we're not on that 31, but it says, see prostitution, see Gaiden, and Samuel, and then King David. So I'm going to go back a little bit because even in chapter 11, it says right here, see Cain and Abel, page 8. See Noah, page 12. See Abraham, page 16. See Isaac and Rebecca, page 28. Jacob and Esau, page 40. And Sarah, page 27. These are the footnotes on Hebrews chapter 10 and 11. We're going to read this one. I want to read this one. I'm going to read this one because, yes. But this all refers to what we just read, all in Genesis. So Hebrews goes all the way back to Genesis. We're at the end of the Bible in Hebrews. And it goes all the way back to the beginning. Cain and Abel. That was Adam and Eve's son. Hebrews goes all the way back to the beginning. It says 11:4. See Cain and Abel. It was by faith that Abel brought a more acceptable offering to God than Cain did. Abel's offering gave evidence that he was a righteous man, and God showed his approval of his gifts. Although Abel was long dead, he still speaks to us by his example of faith. Is that not awesome? Oh my God. It was by faith that Enoch was taken up to heaven without dying. He disappeared because God took him. For before he was taken up, he was known as a person who pleased God. And it was important to please God without faith. It was impossible to please God without faith. Anyone who wants to come to him must believe that God exists and that he rewards those who sincerely seek him. So God knows your heart. I love this thing I heard yesterday about, they were talking about tattoos, right? Because who knows? I didn't know this until just yesterday that tattoos were used in a spiritual ritual. They were used to praise other gods above God. That's why tattoos were banned. But I love that he said, because he's there to get a tattoo. It was a Christian guy there to get his tattoo, and he was explaining it to the tattoo artist. The artist said, are tattoos against God's law. And it doesn't directly say, but it does say keep your temple clean. But like he said, and I've said it before too, the difference between keeping your temple clean and not clean is your heart. Only God knows your heart. Even the devil doesn't even know what your true feelings are. The devil only knows what you speak, right? So only God knows your true heart. Only God knows the true intentions behind every action, behind every word. Like I try to teach my kid. My That's what I'm going through with my oldest right now. We just talking, and not following through. My sister too had all the time in the world to talk to me when you needed the money, when you needed help. But now that I needed you, I ain't got time for you. I'm going through my own stuff. Okay, because you got what you wanted, and now I'm irrelevant to you. Like, you know what I mean? So you can't just speak words and not follow through. You can't just say what you think people want to hear. You have to have meaning behind it. You have to have meaning because words are so powerful. And look at right here. It says 11:7. It was by faith that Noah built a large boat to save his family from the flood. He obeyed God. He warned who warned him about things that had never happened before. Never happened before. So can you imagine, like, God is telling Noah about these things that he's never experienced, he's never seen and never heard of. Like, is that really gonna happen? Because I know that's what I'm like. Does God really got me? But I think that's the only reason why we should go in the past. Like, the past is the past, leave it in the past. But the reason why it's important, I think, even to journal and write down our past and our experiences, daily experiences, to know where we've been and that what God has brought us through, right? That's why I think it's important to write it down and to know where we came from. Because I remember, like I said, the Portuguese speaking church. I wasn't a part of that church, but I went there every Sunday that I could. They were doing it 3 days a week. I was there 3 days a week when I had gas, when was able to, I was there. So we have to trust, right? He warned him about the things that had never happened before with his faith. Noah condemned the rest of the world, and he received the righteousness that comes by faith. It was by faith that Abraham obeyed when God called him to leave his home and go to another land. Hebrews, to me, is like a reenactment of the whole Bible and to teach us who did what. So, my thing is what God is telling me now is that I'm going to be a part of a church. I have never, things that have never happened before. I am almost 40 years old. And even though the only church that I was like a part of was that Portuguese speaking church. I did go to several churches, and I loved that when I was asked to talk to one of the ladies who runs these children groups. What is it called? Royal Kids Camp. Who's heard of that? I've never heard of that. It sounds so amazing. But Royal Kids Camp. So I was asked to speak with her about some past experiences because my childhood was not fun. And a lot of children in this Royal Kids Camp are children from bad experiences. And she had said to me, I'm surprised that you even walk into a church. I'm surprised that you even have faith in God because of what happened. Because the first thing, like I told you, when we were tied to a tree, they were church going people. They went to church Monday, Wednesday, whatever days the church was. They went to church religiously. But then they tied me and my brother to a tree because we woke a baby up in the middle of the night after having to go to the bathroom, like for being human, right? For having to relieve our baby bodies. And because their child woke up, their birth child, their blood child woke up, they treated us like garbage. And even before then, they treated us like garbage. Like, who makes a child eat soap just to play? Just to play. The I don't even want to get into my story. Look at him. I don't even want to get into my story, but I mean, like, there's a lot. So he's telling me right now that this is a church that I belong to. He brought me to this church. I did like the Hillcrest Church, and I love that he brought me there and brought me a lot of people from there. But this I wanted to read because I was crying last night that this is what he's got planned for me. Because so far, I told you guys about the UCAN lady that I had already spoke to and who how does that happen? Right? A year or two after we utilize them, here they are. And then I've been trying to get a hold of this lady, Bonnie, for at least 2 years. At least. We're going now on 3 years at least that I've been trying to get a hold of Miss Bonnie. And she does the Be the Change You Can Be here in Jamestown. And what are the odds? Yet again, I've said it a million times since my husband passed. What are the odds that this is happening, right? So I go to church Sunday, and that's who the speaker is. The lady that, like, she literally just got connected with Bonnie. And I'm like, how? I've been trying for years. I guess I wasn't trying hard enough. I don't know. But, and I don't out of the house often. So, but I'm supposed to be getting connected with her. We have a better homeschool. I've been so excited. Not that Leah wasn't bad, but loving education at home is awesome. As a 1 day a week, but now these people, I guess they do it a couple times a week. So she's the one that does the homeschool and the be the change you can be with Miss Bonnie. And I'm like, what are the odds? What are the odds that this is that lady? Right? So God has told me, He keeps putting it on my heart that I'm going to do something big in the church, and I don't know what it is. And I've never been a part of a church. Like I said, I've never been a part of the community of a church. So this is what he's saying, belonging to a church. This is the footnote. We're going to read the Hebrews footnote because this is like important to me and what he brought to me. This is exactly what I've been telling you. This little hole, I need to sew these holes up, but this is what he's been telling me. So belonging to a church. The writer of Hebrews knew that his readers believed, pressured. Hold on. This is where I got confused. The writer of Hebrews knew that his readers, believers, pressured into abandoning their Christian faith. So his readers, who are believers, pressured into abandoning their Christian faith, desperately needed encouragement and support. I don't want to lose my faith or leave the faith, but again, I'm questioning, right? We're questioning if God is real, if God is really here for me, right? So this is why he urges them to not neglect meeting together as some were doing in Hebrews chapter 10 verse 25, which I have highlighted. It says, "Let us not neglect our meeting together as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of his return is drawing near." And look, ow, why is there glass on my foot? Uh the day of his return is drawing near, right? And this was way back, I don't know when. This was in Hebrews, when Hebrews was written. I know it's disgusting. I got something on my foot. So, Hebrews 25, do not neglect to meet as some people do, to encourage one another, right? So what church do you go to where we're allowed to tell our stories, that we're allowed to share, right? That's why I like these small groups, right? So we can encourage. I love to teach the children and ask them questions and get them, stop it, and get them involved in this so they can learn too, and we can share our stories, and that doesn't have to be repeated. So it says being together, praying for one another, sharing testimonies of what God has done, hearing God's word, and declaring in worship that God is greater than anything we are facing, encourages us to keep going. And that is what these believers needed. This is what we need. This is what we need. Believers and unbelievers. Unbelievers and believers. I like to say, because you can become a believer if you believe, if you have faith, if you hear the stories of the people who have, had faith, who have had it hard, and um an unbeliever can become a believer. You can. So I believe that's what we all need. But this message is not just for them. Look, it's not just for them, it is for all of us. It may not be persecution that makes us wonder if we have time or energy to be part of a church. It could be things like pressures of family, work, or finances, or weariness at the end of the week, or friends who invite us to do something that seems more fun. But belonging to a church isn't just about attending occasional services, it's about committed participation to its life in an ongoing way. God didn't design us to live out our faith at a purely individual level. He wants us to be a part of His church, which provides the fellowship and encouragement that all of us need. No one can live a Christian life in isolation. And that was important to me because that's where I'm at. I'm in isolation. I don't want to go out of my house. I just said that. I don't want to go out of my house. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with this world. But nobody, no one can live a Christian life in isolation. So that made me sad because what does that tell me? Get off your butt and get out the house. Not just on Saturdays and Sundays. That's why I feel like he's giving me this hot dog cart. And there's something with um holding it right now, you know? Um well, I'm reading. Are you reading? So this is it says a call to preserve. This is Hebrews 30. For we know the one who says, I will take revenge, I will pay them back. He also said the Lord will judge his own people. And then it says right here, Cain and Abel, Noah. Which one was this one?
I am Noah.
You are. I know the part where you show up. Myself, learning my words, line by line, word by word. It's a terrible thing to fall into the hands of the living God. Think back on these days, those early days when you first learned about Christ. Remember how you remained faithful even though it meant terrible suffering. Sometimes you were exposed in public to public ridicule. Yeah. Public ridicule and and sometimes you help others who are suffering the same things. This is what it is about being a Christian and being with God and just loving each other. Though hard at times, all we can do mostly is pray for each other. But I love that Hebrews, the end of the book, right here, Cain and Abel, Noah, Abraham, Isaac and Rebekah, Jacob and Esau. The end goes all the way back to the beginning. So I just wanted to share that with you, because that's where God was speaking to me this past week, and it's amazing. It is so amazing, and I'm in love very much, very much, and I'm trusting. I'm trying my best to trust in the Word of God, not just the Word, but His actions. That He's got me. You know, He's got me. Um, Pretty sure we're on chapter 47. If you can give me 2 seconds, let's pause and I'll be right back.